This is a story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down. I'd like to take a minute, so sit right there and listen to this story about my neck and my hair. That was pretty good, eh? So, give you another update. We're going on week 3, just over week 3. It's now Thursday. I'd done the procedure on a Wednesday. A few more changes from last week, a few things that haven't changed. We'll talk about the nerve pain first. So one of the things now is the nerve pain is starting to level out. From week 2, it was kind of up and down like a wavelength. It would come in and be real bad, and then it'd go away to almost nothing. Well, now it is relatively constant, but it's a cold chill, not freezing. As I said prior, I'm always freezing, like a burn, like generally like holding ice on your skin. It's just that cold. But now it's more of just kind of a relaxed, like a cold breeze on your skin. And I think from the tone, which my tone's getting a lot stronger, which not necessarily great. It makes things kind of difficult. But with more signal coming through or more strength, whichever it may be, the tone's getting stronger as well. And I think that leads to my skin feeling like it's always tight. It's just everything on me squeezing. Prior, my tone was always just in my legs or my arms. Now it's in my core, my back. There's a lot of times where I'm sitting there and I can feel myself just straightening my back up for quite a while, actually. And it's a good stretch. It feels nice. But definitely some pluses and some minuses with it. The spasticity is calming down a bit. My hands aren't shaking nearly as much as they used to. The first week, it dropped off almost completely. Then it came back, and then it's looking like things are kind of leveling out a bit more now. The strength is still there. Is it raining? The strength is still there. I'm able to stand still. I actually stood and balanced on my own for the first time. So Tony stood me up. I'll actually have a video attached. Stood me up, and then I was able to keep my posture straight and just use my hands on top of his arms to balance myself. And he would just let go and kind of hold it. And then if and when I started to fall, he would grab me and make sure we didn't buckle. The chest is getting a bit stronger. Still, the shoulders are a bit weak. We're working on it, though. They're coming up. See, I'm getting the right hand up above the head now, which I definitely wasn't able to before. I could a little bit, but not nearly as much. So that's getting good. Yeah, it is definitely raining, so I'm going to back this thing up. Come here, Ziggy. So we got that going. The rest of the exercises, the legs are getting stronger still. The hip abductors and adductors are getting a little bit more strength to them, but notably is my bridges. When my feet are up, I'm able to get my body almost parallel. So my butt is coming off probably a solid 8 inches, 12 inches. Ziggy, come here. Ziggy. Yeah, he doesn't listen very well either. Sorry, guys. Dog's ruining the video here. Let me pause this. Where was I? So yeah, the core is getting stronger, which is obviously helping with the standing. We're going to be doing a push-to-walk session tomorrow. I think we're going to actually make an attempt to try to take a few steps. I'm getting some hip flexors, so now that I can stand on my own, I could probably use a walker type deal and see if I can swing the hips to get a foot moving a little bit. But it's going to be, I'll get a couple of videos of that as well so you guys can see what's going on. I've got to work on stimming the hands more. I'm not getting any more change really in the fingers. They're still wiggling. They're doing that. The stuff is still moving, but no more progress. So I've got to put a stim pad on here and get these things opening up a fair bit. They're always just so tight. So I want to start messing around with that a bit more. And I'm going to start doing the hyperbaric oxygen therapy as well. The premise behind that is that it's going to assist draw out resident stem cells from the bone marrow. Because you're at pressure, it allows them to pass through the bone and then go to work throughout the rest of the body and just kind of assist the whole process that we're doing, along with oxygenating the blood to a much higher level. When you breathe concentrated O2, which is going to be about 95%, which isn't high enough to give you O2 toxicity, which is good. So you can be in a chamber for an hour or 2 hours, breathe in straight O2, and you're fine. But you're also going to have up to 10 times more oxygen in your blood massive effect, which just obviously the more oxygen to the system, the better. Gets everything kind of moving along, help regenerate, heal, do all that fun stuff. So we're going to be going around doing that. I'm going to have to probably rent one because to do them at a facility, it's usually pretty limited space. We tried to get me into one and I was not fitting by any means. So the chamber, you can actually rent them. They're about $1,500 a month, not cheap, but that allows you to do as many chamber runs as you want. So, I mean, granted, like I said, it's expensive, but if you rent it for a month, you can get 20, 30, 40 sessions in relatively easy, whereas to go to a facility, you're going to pay $150 a pop. If you buy in bulk, I think it's down to $100 a pop, at least the place I was looking. So it's something we're going to be testing to see if I notice much of a change in like my nerve pain. I don't know where else I'd really start to really immediately see the results, maybe a reduction in tone and spasticity. But we'll be playing around with that a bit. The digestive is still moving. I'm not using that massager to shake everything loose anymore. It's just gotta squeeze my stomach. I suck my diaphragm in and then push out and just kind of get the abs working a bit, and that's able to move everything enough. Bladder is still not spasming, so I believe the spasms has actually stopped inside the bladder. I'm still able to empty my bladder if I want to once it fills up. So we're going to actually do some urodynamics tests probably in the next 3 weeks and do the urodynamics as the test of the bladder. My bladder's always been pretty rough. It just spasmed just as much as my hands did. So it'll be an interesting test to kind of see where that's all at. I think that's pretty much it for the moment. I'm feeling pretty good though. We're still, like I said, moving forward. Weather's still pretty crap, which you can't really get around that unless you move south. And that's about it. If anybody's got any more questions, let me know. Like I said, I'm going to post a few more videos and kind of keep it up to date on that route. All right, cheers everybody.